our worship associate, Ellen Herrington. This is Ellen's first time as worship associate. Yay, Ellen! Yay. She'll provide a welcome and an update on all the wonderful things happening here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Ellen Herrington, and my pronouns are she and they, and I'm glad to be your worship associate today. We welcome you this morning, those of you here in the sanctuary, as well as those joining us on Zoom. If you're joining us on Zoom, you can visit our website, uucatskills.org, to find contact information to be added to the mailing list and to find the latest newsletter. And you can scroll to the bottom of the page for the form to be added to our email news list. A reminder that people of all ages, children young and old, are welcome here at UU Catskills. There is a space across the hall for anyone who would like to hear the service while being able to freely move about. After the service, please stay for in-person refreshments or for a time of connection if you are on Zoom. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcomed here. We are a religion centered in love. We draw on many sources of wisdom and inspiration as we seek to understand the world, the universe, and the mystery beyond all human knowing. At UU Catskills, we seek to live our values in every part of our lives. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming and affirming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. Our sanctuary is built on the tribal land of the Lenape people. Please take a moment and turn off your electronic devices. Give yourself permission to be fully present here, now. Our prelude this morning is The Holly and the Ivy, played by Cattabiani.
Each week we light the chalice. Many times when we gather, we light the chalice, the symbol of our faith, created as a symbol in the dark days of the Holocaust in Europe, an enduring symbol of justice and light. And so I invite the children forward to help lead us in the chalice lighting. Please join in saying the words of chalice lighting, which are in your order of service. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community. Even in the darkest of times, may its flame light paths of courage, justice, and hope. we get it?
No, this
This is, it has too much wax in it. I think you need to tilt this all the way over so that you don't roll it.
Well, between the five of you, I have complete faith.
Photo op. Or we could just light the chalice.
I didn't see your matches.
Let's see if we can.
You didn't see your matches. Your wick is really short.
Thank you all. You know, it's just so cold this morning, the flame was having a hard time. And now our unison affirmation. So if you want to stay here for the unison affirmation, you may. I'm going to invite everybody back up in a little while, but may we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other. I call us into worship this morning, the morning after the winter solstice, with words by Susan Cooper, The Shortest Day. You can go sit down and then listen for me to invite you back up. So the shortest day came, and a year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people, singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. This shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, fest, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we here now, this year and every year. Welcome, Yule. Come as the light has returned. Did you notice it was already lighter this morning? The light has returned to chase away the darkness. Let us give shape here to our highest values and aspirations. Let us worth shape. Come, let us worship together. For our opening hymn, we're going to sing number 226 in the hymnal, People Look East. As we look toward the return of the sun after the darkest night, we welcome the return of the guest, the rose, the star that warms and lights our existence. So I invite you to rise and body your spirit and join in singing, People Look East. Please be seated. Today, we enact an ancient ritual from the earth-centered traditions. And so I will invite you all to participate as I lead us in calling the directions, and we will light a special candle for each direction here on the table in front. And so I invite anyone who'd like to help me, anyone of any age, the children, anyone who wants to be part of this, to come help me light the candles and lead us in turning to the directions to come forward. And so just kind of gather sort of around the table. Here, I'll move these. Don't put it back at the table because the Yule logs. All right. And could I have some taller participants as well? So I will invite you all, I will invite everyone to rise in body or spirit for this ritual. And if you are behind someone very tall and you want to see, you're welcome to come forward or move out into a clear space so you can see. So we won't light the candles yet. I'm going to begin. I will begin. Mike? I will begin by casting a circle, which we do with our vision and our imagination as we create a circle that wraps around this whole sanctuary space, welcoming all into the sacred space of community within our circle of belonging. So you may extend your upraised hands in welcome and turn along with me. So you can put up one hand or both, like that. And I'll reach out to draw a circle that gathers us all in. So just circle to your right. Yeah. We cast the circle in love with the spirit of love in the center, circle all the way around. So draw a circle with your hands. You can do it more than once if you like, but don't get dizzy and fall over. We cast the circle in love with the spirit of love in the center and all around us, over and under, around and between, within us all. All right. Now, we'll call each direction. And I will invite you to turn to face in each direction as it's called. So north, for those of you that don't know, because you can't tell from in here, north is the side outside of the space where the kitchen is located. East is the side with the doors where you most likely came in. South is where the piano and stained glass and Catherine are. And west is where is this side. So we'll begin by all turning to face the north, and I'm going to light a candle from the chalice. And so the north candle is the green one. So, Adrian, would you like to light? So let's not, Joanne, thank you. My ritual, thank you. We begin by turning to face the north. The green candle represents the earth essence of the north quarter. And so raise your hands in welcome to the Holly King and the watchtowers of the north and the elements of earth. We call upon your wisdom, summon your energy and love to witness the celebration of renewal, blessings of Yule, and union of spirit as we have lit the northern candle. So now turn to your right to face the east. The yellow candle represents the ethereal essence of the east quarter. So Mark will help get the yellow candle lit. To the maiden goddess of purity and virtue, the watchtowers of the east and the elements of air, we call upon your wisdom and summon your energy for clear communications to spirit, divine knowledge and understanding, and we have lighted the eastern candle. And now, turn to the south. The fiery red candle represents the fire essence of the south quarter. To the mother goddess of nurturing and compassion, the watchtowers of the south and the elements of fire, we call upon your wisdom and summon your energy for purification of mind, body, and spirit for the coming new year. We ask for your divine protection over all things that we bring forth for rebirth. And we have lighted the southern candle. And now we turn to face the west. The cobalt blue candle represents the water essence of the west quarter. Got it? To the crone goddess of wisdom and knowledge, the watchtowers of the west and the elements of water, we call upon your energy and summon your presence for knowledge and understanding of old lessons and deeds now past, and we have lit the western candle. The circle is cast and the directions called, and the candles are burning bright. Gathered in the circle of shining love, we celebrate the spirit of Yule, emerging from the darkness into the light of a new year. You may be seated. So the children are going to go to their class now. We will sing them out, but they're going to come back for the end of the service when we will declare our intentions as we jump, let's put the word in quotes, jump the Yule log. So this is part of the ritual. So let us sing the children to their classes. Love and light on every face, and then to learn, light your hearts till you return. For our reflection, I offer A Winter Blessing by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing because the wild places are in tears. Come, she cries to us, kneel down here on the frosty grass and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers. Distill peace from the snow and water the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year. Trace the bending arc rounding the curve toward justice and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, haloed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here, heaven echoes the call. Repeat the sounding joy. Make your life an answer. Bow, praise, rise. In this space of the turning of the year, may all that has been spoken and all that remains unspoken among us be heard within us in a brief time of silence. May the inmost dreams of our hearts and minds rise and be heard. Blessed be.
Each week, we take a plate collection to benefit the congregation and the community. Any contributions that are placed in the basket without specific instructions will be shared, half to benefit the congregation, the other half to support 8 organizations in Kingston and Ulster County who serve those in need and create community resources. There are several ways to give. Place cash or a check in the basket when it is passed, use the QR code in your order of service, or give electronically by going to uucatskill.org. If you wish your donation in the basket to go toward your pledge or to be used only by the congregation, please use an envelope from the basket with your name and the purpose of your donation written on the envelope, or make a note in the memo line of your check. For the love and support we share with the world, please give generously. Our offertory music this morning is God Rest You Mary, arranged by David Lands, played by Catherine Cattabiani.
In gratitude for the generosity that serves this congregation, that we may serve the world. Thank you. You can blame it on the tilt. The reason we have seasons, the reason we have a longest day in June and a longest night in December is all because the Earth is tilted on its axis. So as it rotates around the sun, the northern part is tilted toward the sun in the summer and away in the winter, shifting us back and forth in a predictable pattern every year. So if you have people in your circle of beloveds who are science deniers, you can explain about the tilt. At 4:21 a.m. yesterday, while many of us were still fast asleep in the embrace of the darkest night, the northern half of the planet moved through the winter solstice. Yes, we know to blame it on the tilt. If the Earth were straight up and down in its relationship to the sun, there would be no seasons. We would not have the leafy green in summer, the snow in winter, the glory of autumn leaves, or the thrill of spring blossoms. We know about the tilt, so we understand why there are seasons, why in our northern hemisphere the days are longer and warmer in the summer, colder and shorter in the winter, and the opposite in the southern hemisphere, which bears remembering, because when you talk to your friends in New Zealand and Australia and South Africa, they're in a very different experience. We know to blame it on the tilt, and yet we wonder, as we find ourselves drawn into the experience, we wonder and we wait. In the days around the solstice point, the sun rides low in the sky and the night is long. Nights in winter can seem incredibly dark. It's a different kind of dark than any other kind of the year, cold and brittle. And in the solstice time, the moon and the stars seem even brighter than usual. The darkness of winter can draw us into the metaphorical kind of darkness, a nurturing darkness of comfort or a bleak darkness of loss, a darkness that calls to a shadow the yin nature that lies deep within our being. We wonder and we wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. We look for the signal that the darkness is gone and our future is illuminated. For many of us, waiting for the light to return is the hardest part. But we don't have to just sit and wait. We can become an active participant in the waiting process. The waiting can be a time for us to look deep inside ourselves, to look into the dark, and to identify what doesn't belong or what waits to turn toward the sun. In those dark places, we can find courage and healing to call the light of our dreams and intentions forward. And when we begin to understand ourselves from these inner places, a change can begin, a deepening happens in us. And the deeper it is, the more we can open to the return of the light. The earth-centered traditions that take their place in the sources of the Unitarian Universalist faith honor the deeply human experience of the seasons, the descent into darkness, and the rise with the returning of the light. A bit of history for context. The religion that became Unitarian Universalism took shape in the early centuries of the Common Era, as those who dissented with the prescribed doctrines of Christianity split off to follow the teachings that they believed were more authentic to the original teachings of the prophet Jesus. Two of the original points of dissent were, one, the unity of the divine, professing the humanity of Jesus and there being only one God rather than a trinity, and two, that everyone goes to heaven, rejecting the idea that God as a loving parent would condemn any of God's children to eternal damnation. Hence, Unitarian, the unity of the divine, and Universalist, universal salvation. After going along independently over the centuries, the Unitarians and the Universalists came together in 1961 to create a single faith that unites these two concepts with our very long name. There's a joke that when they argued over the name, both sides ended up happy because the Unitarians got their name first, and the Universalists said, well, that means Unitarian is an adjective. Having originated in Jewish and Christian teachings, Unitarian Universalism opened as well to honor and integrate the many sources of our faith, including our individual experience of awe and wonder, the wise teachings of prophets and religions over time, humanism and atheism, science and reason, and the earth-centered religions. And we all find our own places in the integration of traditions within our Unitarian Universalist faith, with commitment to the values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, centered in the unifying and enlivening power of love. My own genetic heritage includes deep roots in Ireland, and my own faith as a Unitarian Universalist resonates with the ancient earth-centered practices of the Druidic Celtic religion. Earth-centered faith honors the presence of the divine in the natural world and the energies of the elements and the cardinal directions as they are woven into the mysteries of all life on the planet. For me, the mystery deepens at the key times of the solar year, the depths of the winter and summer solstice, the balance points of the vernal and autumnal equinox, and the flexion points in between, Imbolc, Beltane, Lammas, and Samhain. And so today I find a deep spiritual expression in the observance of Yule, grounded in the experience of life on this tilted planet, which lies at the root of the Christmas and New Year celebrations in the Western world. Yule is the ancient pagan celebration in Celtic and Nordic religions of the world, where people cleanse their homes, clear their minds, and create a clear focus on the future to invite the return of the sun, the return of life-giving warmth and light. In a little while, we're going to enact the ritual of jumping the Yule log to symbolize entering the new year with the return of the light. The Yule ritual, and we'll invite the children back in as we do that. The Yule ritual is a time to let go of any burdens we've been carrying, to free up space for the new light to enter, creating new beginnings as we set our intentions for the new year. So as we prepare for this ritual of setting intentions to invite the sun back into our lives, I invite you to consider, what do you choose to let go of and leave behind as you cross over the Yule log? What do you choose to enter into, thinking about your intentions, rekindling the light within you to welcome Yule? And now, as the children put on their coats and prepare to return to join in this Yule ritual, let us rise in body or spirit to join in singing hymn number 235, Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly. Please be seated. And now the shortest day has past, and the year is reborn again in song and dance. With lighted trees and candles, we have kept the year alive. And so we celebrate and declare our intentions for the coming year. We carol and feast and hope for peace, here, now, this year, and every year. Welcome, Yule. So may it be. So, we're going to chant a rhythmic chant, and it's in your order. The words are in your order of service. You won't need your book. It's pretty simple, and Catherine will play it through. But just a moment. So in just a moment, I'll invite everyone to line up and come forward so you can take your turn crossing the Yule log. I'll be there to give a helping hand to anybody that needs it. You can jump or step or walk around it, whatever way. You can do it alone or ask for support, whatever your mobility and balance allow. And as you cross over, you can imagine you are crossing from the darkness into the light, from the old year into the new, with your intention as the sun returns to the world at the end of the darkness. As we jump and make music, you may choose. So could somebody help pass out the percussion instruments? Because we're going to use those as we chant. So you can prove whether you've got rhythm. And if you don't have an instrument, you can just clap your hands. And let's make sure the kids get some bells or something. And we will join in the chant. So somebody can take the rain stick and somebody can take the big drum. But if you're going to take the big drum, give the little drum to somebody else. Lex. And so who would like the rain stick? You just do it. Who wants a little drum? Let's make sure the people over here get some instruments. Here you go. Can we make sure we get them across the room, Mark? Make sure we get them across the room. Are we getting well distributed? So carry some instruments around all parts of the room. All right, as we finish passing out the instruments, let's go ahead and begin the chant. So the words are in your order of service. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. Catherine will play it through just so we get the tone. our circle, and I could use a couple of helpers to blow out each candle one at a time as we all stand and turn for the directions. So we thank the God and the Goddess. Thank you for watching over and being with us. Stay with us if you will. Go if you must. And so everyone, rise and lift your open hands in release and farewell to the spirits of the directions. We'll begin with the west and close them in the opposite order we open. So begin with the west. I can hear me. We begin with the west. Divine spirits and watchtowers of the west, we thank you for watching over and being with us. Stay if you will, go if you must, so mote it be. Divine spirits and the watchtowers of the south, we thank you for watching over and being with us. Stay if you will, go if you must, so mote it be. Divine spirits and watchtowers of the east, we thank you for watching over and being with us. Stay if you will, go if you must, so mote it be. Divine spirits and the watchtowers of the north, we thank you for watching over and being with us. Stay if you will, go if you must, so mote it be. And so with our minds, our hearts, and our imagination, we close the circle as the circle of love remains, ever open and unbroken, lifting us safely into the dawning of the year. Please be seated. I invite you now to join in the words of extinguishing the flame. Ellen, if you'd like to extinguish the flame, the words are printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now our sung benediction. You I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this